Hey everyone, welcome to our second rankings video going on about defenders. I promise this will be the only, I'd say, heavily Juve incorporated one. They are generally a defensive team, so I promise it's not uh, based on bias. As if you haven't watched me before, I am a Juve fan. But I do think that the options that I put in here from Juve are worth it. If you've been liking the preseason videos so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's try to get to 300 before the season starts. Generally, preseason's when most of the subscriptions come in, and then those that are watching continue to enjoy the videos as we go along. But I would really appreciate that and try to get this Serie A fantasy family going. All right, so today we're looking at the top 5 defenders that I've chosen to add to your teams going in. And just one thing, you generally can't afford all of the players in these ranking videos because a lot of the times the best ones are the more expensive ones. That's why they are so expensive. But some good ideas to be looking at going in. So first one, I actually don't know how to pronounce it. Natan. I'm gonna go with for now the Brazilian new center back coming in to replace Kim. As far as that's how he's I think been described for the most part. I'm assuming that's what his role is to replace Kim, who had a phenomenal season last year in the championship Napoli side. Um, but as always, it can be risky to pick a new transfer in. Sometimes they don't get into the starting lineup right away. Although I do think that he's brought in early enough that he can be integrated into the squad relatively quickly. It was over 2 weeks ahead of time. He's going to be training with them. I'm not sure if he's got any friendly preseason time in. But I do think that as long as you're a consistent Napoli defender, you're going to be getting clean sheets, you're going to be getting points as far as fantasy goes. So at the end of the day, this is going to be a lot cheaper than trying to bring in Di Lorenzo, who is the most expensive defender, and that's going to take up a big portion of your budget, especially for a defender. If you have the money, obviously Di Lorenzo is going to be attacking, but it's the same reason as we're going to see for number 4. In this case, I would take Natan because of his price and a consistent option into that Napoli defense. Similar thinking going on here when we're talking about Davide Calabria. Again, I'm just thinking Theo Hernandez is too expensive, and I think Calabria is a similar player. Obviously, Theo Hernandez gets that 1.8 mil more for being as attacking as he is, and sometimes being on penalties. But Calabria is just a similar, slightly less attacking player on the other side of the field. Maybe not quite as nailed on as Theo Hernandez is, but as far as what we're starting with, I think I'm gonna want to spread my money more throughout the team as taking either Di Lorenzo or Theo Hernandez is going to really hit the budget and allow less flexibility elsewhere in the team. So that's kind of where these two players fit in. Both defenders that are you're going to probably get relatively consistent minutes, part of big clubs that will likely be getting a lot of clean sheets. And clean sheets, I think, is where a lot of focus should be as far as your point scoring, because you can get up to 6 points if a team gets a complete clean sheet, as far as I understand at least. Number 3 is Federico Gatti, so our first Juve defender here. And Juve defense is generally a strong defense. Maybe the last year or so has been more leaky than in the past. Obviously, we had our problems last year at Juve. Hoping that that is behind us and we're going to move on. Now that Bonucci's gone, Gatti's kind of a younger version of him and hopefully going to fill in his shoes. While it's hard to fill in the shoes of the likes of Bonucci or Chiellini who have moved on the last couple of years. Hopefully Gatti can start filling those shoes, get some experience, as I think overall Rugani was misused coming through the program. Hopefully they've integrated Gatti a little earlier and he'll be able to fill in those shoes a little better. And obviously this is a much less expensive way to get into a good defensive side at 4.8 mil. He's more of one of those budget defenders that could help you move your money elsewhere rather than getting a big expensive defender. He may not have a great goal threat going forward, but again, the point of Gatti is just to get, sorry, a defender that should get relatively consistent minutes. in the Juve side. We might figure out soon, though, maybe he's not, and we might need to get rid of him quickly. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. All right. Our top two are going to start with another Federico, which is DeMarco. And he is 6.0 mil. He is one of the cheaper, I'd say, premium defenders at 6.0 mil. So it is a bit of a hit. Inter kind of expected to win Serie A this year. So I'm sure that they're going to get their fair share of clean sheets, a very good defensive team. And as far as defenders go, DiMarco is a very good attacking option, not only defensive. He's probably one of the more nailed on Inter defenders, as sometimes Inter all over the field sees a lot of rotation, even in their attacking and stuff like that. Knowing that this will take up one of your Inter spots. Personally, as you would have seen in the last video, I really like Jan Sommer as one of my Inter players, which leaves one more. And I need to see, obviously, Lautaro Martinez is a very threatening player. I don't have him currently in based on the strikers that I have, but I may want him in at some point. And having Jan Sommer, and if I added DiMarco, that takes up both of my Inter spots right there. So I'm not starting with DiMarco as things start, but I would definitely not shake a stick at anyone that's starting with DiMarco in their squad. A very good defensive option. And lastly, I do have to put Danilo here, not just because he's Juve, but he had a phenomenal season last year. Ever since he came to Juve in exchange for Cancelo, it has proven to be a terrible decision up until last year. Danilo had a phenomenal season when overall Juve was not having a good season at all. He did shine, was getting attacking returns, had a long stretch of helping Juve get clean sheets for a while as well, and he was the previous defender of the year. What more can you really ask for? He's pretty nailed on in that Juve defense at the right back position. And right now, I'm not really sure how Juve's setting up as far as attacking. They have Chiesa, who should be starting, Vlahovic, unless they get a new striker, looking to be their starting striker. But a lot of their midfield is up in the air with new signing. Weah, he could be good, a good exciting player. Kostic maybe on the left, but as for now, there could be a lot of rotation with Pogba coming back too. So their Juve attack is a little up in the air right now, which is why, as you saw on my first draft video a couple days ago, I do have two Juve defenders, and that's how my Juve spots are being taken up at this time. One of them being Danilo. He was one of the ones right when fantasy launched. I was pretty certain that I wanted him in my squad. Okay, so those are our top 5 defenders that I'm going to say are going into game week 1. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and continue to support the channel. I'm looking to have a lot of fun with this, and be sure to join the league. The code and the link are in the description of the video, so please don't hesitate to join and become part of our Serie A fantasy community. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you again soon with midfielders coming up tomorrow.